block sell.
First, and we are looking at the markets. All right. So, we are looking at the S&P futures here, and it looks like this area of balance we've been trading in late Thursday and Friday is holding here. You can see this orange section is regular trading hours for Friday, and we had this false breakout testing below Thursday's. This area was not able to hold, however, and got this back inside the range and have been holding since. Um, right at about last week's VWAP, give or take, and we are reaching Friday's high. So if we look at the live chart showing the overnight session, current current day or current evening, I should say, this is trading hours Friday, and you can see we're right at about Friday's high of the day. So my bias is long today, particularly since when control is weighted to the top of the range. And I'm looking for a break above Friday's high, and then for us to continue higher after that. And next targets that I'm looking for are this large low volume node from Thursday's session. So that's going to provide some pretty substantial resistance. That's at right about 3667. After that, I'm looking for a reaction right here around 3890. We had this very large sell order, 632 lots. Um, I would imagine if we're going to break through this low volume node, we're definitely going to hit this high volume node here. And then likely, however, we would continue higher, retest Thursday's high right here around 39.2, followed by this key level up here at 39.3. This is going to be a major area of resistance. Have nothing right above here, basically. So that's going to provide a pretty substantial, uh, roadblock or obstacle, a potential turning point there. So if we look at the longer term chart, so this is what that looks like. This is above Thursday's Thursday's activity. Top of Thursday's profile right here. That's the high. You can see that this is going to provide pretty substantial resistance. If we break through that, however, I mean, pretty much clear skies after that, up to the all-time high. So you can see this is where we're trading at currently. This is a 4-hour chart. So if we were able to break above Friday's activity, which I think is highly likely, we're likely to trade all the way back up through this low volume node right here. And then once we get up to this pivot high, though, that's the real ticket. I'll have to see what happens there. Um, we could turn around at that area. Obviously, there was a great deal of selling that took place in this drop on on Thursday, so we don't know definitively if the long time frame seller is going to come back in and try to drive this market down. One thing I did want to note, we have a week low on Friday's profile. So if we look back here, again, all the way over, and camera's only pointed at the rear end of my monitor, so to speak. Okay, so you can see this week low right here. So it's a very clear double bottom, and I would expect that the market is going to come back and retest this at some point. Anytime you get a weak low like that or a double bottom, it's basically an unfinished auction, which tells us that there were still people that were willing to sell at those levels. However, the auction basically got cut short. So I would expect that we're going to come back down at some point. It'll be today, probably not today based on my bias. It'll be tomorrow. At some point, we're going to come back, retest this week low here because literally people are still willing to sell at these. That's pretty much what I got for you. If we look at the morning brief from Friday, if I can so you can see my bias on Friday was long, and we got that false breakout and ended up holding balance. And then this is just kind of the stuff that I look at every morning when I'm doing prep work. So I look at the value area, like is the value area moving lower, higher, or lapping? I look at which side the point of control weighted. So if you don't know what a point of control is, the point of control is the thickest portion of the volume profile, and it is the basically like the fairest price to do business. Both the buyer and seller agreed that this level was a fair price to do business. So I always look at the point of control. Is it higher or lower or whatever? You can see the point of control here in the overnight session did migrate higher. So that tells us that the valuation of the S&P is moving higher relative to the place. So that's very telling. Um, Look at whether the point of control is very prominent. Like, is it very thick? Because if it's thick, then that tells us that that price is a very good valuation. Very thick points of control tend to be revisited. I was also look at volume. Like, is volume, like if we're moving higher, is volume also moving higher? Don't want us to be moving higher and excuse me, we don't want us to be moving higher and volume to be falling off. If we are moving higher but these higher prices are cutting off activity, i.e. volume is dropping off, then that is anticipatory for a possible. So we don't want us to be going higher on lower volume, because that can reverse. So when I come in every morning, I check so this just shows the volume for S&P 500 futures contract, and you can see here this is the volume for Friday here. So I think this is probably just because it was the end of the month basically, and people wrapping up their positions. But look at that. If we are moving higher and volume is also increased, then I know that momentum is very strong. So therefore, the trend is likely to continue. I also look at whether the value area is wider or narrower. Narrower, like it was on Friday, then we know that volatility is contracting. Also look at tails. You have a buying tail or a selling tail. And what I mean by that is we look at the volume profile, you have a really sharp kind of extreme either end. If we have a really sharp extreme, that's going to tell us that there was very aggressive activity at that higher low, and therefore that participant is likely to be strong. So in this instance, it's kind of mixed because we have a pretty good looking tail, but at the same time, we have a weak low. So although the buyers were very aggressive, we'll have this unfinished auction. So it's a little bit mixed. Okay. So apart from that, I look at whether we have initiating
Block
activity.
buy.
But that initiating activity is when you have any buying or selling. I'll jump on GME, but if you watch the weekend wrap, I was actually short biased, but I haven't looked at what's going on pre-market, so I'll check it out in just a second. So yeah, initiating activity is whenever you have any buying or selling that is exceeds the prior day's range. So we had initiating selling down here, which it's called initiating because you know, it's at the profile extreme where you would normally get the most buying, because that's the low of the day. Normally people should be buying there, but it's actually bringing in more selling. So hence that's why it's called initiating. So I look for initiating activity. Initiating activity is the stronger type of activity, and responsive activity, which is what this is. We have initiating selling and we have responsive buying. Responsive activity is generally the weaker kind of activity, but in this instance, it was able to create that false breakout. So that's the kind of stuff that I look at every morning. If it's helpful, I would be happy to post this kind of stuff on Twitter every morning so you guys can see. And I
Block buy.
include my bias here. Let me turn that volume. So let me know in the comments if you guys want me to post this stuff on Twitter every morning. Let me know. Okay, let's check out GME West. I'm curious because, like I said, I called out a short on that on the weekend wrap. Curious what it's do here. Alright. Like it's moving up in market. Whoop. Sorry, let me get my charts fast. Let's move 5 minutes. That's better. Now you guys can actually. Okay, so this is me, and you see that we put in this big spike on Friday's session, and then we made basically a 100% retracement. So this volume profile, it's showing everything for this whole region, but if you were to look at the volume profile just for Friday, this would be the point of control right here. All this consolidation right at this level around $100. Okay, basically the point of control we know would be weighted to the low end of the range. That usually indicates that it indicates a lack of aggressive buying, particularly since we had this. Um, we probed higher here and it was immediately ordered down. So my bias on GME is still short. I am looking for a break below $100. This area of consolidation, I'm looking for this to break, and then I am looking for a retest of this pivot low right here, right at about 87 even. And then if that breaks, I think my next target was all the way down to 70, if I remember correctly, or yeah, it might be 70. I have to double check on a faster time frame. But yeah, basically, I'm looking for a break below $100 and then a retest of this 87. The other setups that I called out were JNUG. We have a bear flag. So gold has been really weak lately. So you can see we've got this bear flag formation right here. Epic pen up real fast. Oh, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so we've got this got this support level right here, and that's where we're trading at in pre-market here. Actually, right above this. I think epic. Okay, so pre-market we're trading at 83.86, is right. Stop lagging. Six. We're right at the top of this bear flag. So this formation may or may not hold. I mean we're at the high end of this range in this formation here. So we'll see what happens. It may break higher. That's not, based on what's going on pre-market. I'm a little bit mixed signals there, so I don't know if that's actually gonna break. My other setup was for Neo for the descending triangle, and man, was I right. Holy crap. On Neo, I was looking for a break above this ascending triangle, and this is where we're trading at in right here. At 40, 48.58. Right about, man, if you listen to the weekend wrap, you would have gotten a nice setup there. So 5 minutes till the open, guys. So yeah, if you don't know what the weekend wrap is, every weekend on YouTube, I do like a 10-minute video, just kind of talking about the S&P and what I expect to see in the upcoming week. I go over all the news for the week, and I give you guys like my bias and a couple stock setups, and uh, this Neo setup is one. Thoughts on AMC the other day? It broke out into the 11s. Sure, yeah, I can take a look. AMC that it broke into the 11s. Oh, okay, got it. Yeah, to me, I mean, this kind of looks like something called a long liquidation break. So a long liquidation break is known for a kind of B-shaped profile when the market goes up like that, but it gets too long, then immediately liquidates, and all these people that got long, they run for cover basically. You can see it's not perfect. This is kind of more like a double distribution profile shape, but you can see this point of control is much more prominent. So clearly, this is the better interpretation of value right now. Yeah, I really think that in concurrently, everybody that got long on this spike, they're very unlikely to buy again because they just all got trapped and eventually lost money. So they're gonna be a little bit anxious about buying again. I would definitely urge caution on trading this right now. Granted, we are trading a little bit higher on pre-market here at right here, trading at in pre-market, so it is moving higher. That So we do have a higher high. I mean, that is definitely bullish, but yeah, we'll just have to see what happens. This thing is just acting kind of weird in my opinion. Yeah, this low volume node which you've broken into now, so never know. I mean, we may trade back up to this previous high volume node. That's certainly possible, at least since we have this higher high now. Like key levels. 2 minutes still open, guys. Oh, price targets. I mean, since we're already back up in this low volume node right here, I would imagine that we'll probably trade up to this area of consolidation at 10. Low volume nodes are like balloons. The skin of a balloon is going to provide support and resistance. But once the balloon pops, price tends to rush through very quickly. So, since we're already back up in this low volume node, I would expect that we would get a small hiccup right here at that pivot, right at $9. But then we'll probably break through that and trade back up to the $10 region right there. Yeah, you got it, bud. Anytime you guys want me to check out charts, please let me know. It keeps this thing interesting and it makes me feel useful. So I appreciate the engagement. All right, guys, 1 minute till the open here. Why don't we do this? I don't really do this very often, but we're gonna watch the open here together, and I'll kind of explain what I'm seeing as we open. So that way you guys can get a gist as per how I read price action. And I mean, to be honest, I think we're just gonna break right above Friday's high. I don't think it's not gonna be super complicated. All right, guys. Just so you know, I am live on YouTube as well. You can
Block
actually see my
by.
full screen there. So yeah, I mean, if being on your phone is not your thing, yeah, you can definitely see my full screen on YouTube. Like I said, I'll be streaming live there every morning. Under just search for the trade. Right. One thing while I'm at this, my all right, 6:30. We are open here. See what's gonna happen.
Block by. Block by.
Oh, is
Block by.
Delta.
Block by.
This
Block by.
Delta. Ninja Trader is probably Friday's high is that shows the column is stock is that's a um higher elder hold. But I need to coming down here, retesting this volume hit by thing.
Block sell.
Strong to the tap long. Breakout now. Tapped. Back up. That maybe some. As the colors are so
Block sell.
you pull up the other chart. Okay, so this is where we're currently trading at. Right up here. Sorry, my volume profile hasn't loaded yet. Here's Friday's high. Okay. So if this fails here and it turns into a false breakout, we are likely to trade all the way down to the other extreme and probably take out this weak low here. And this low, there's very, very little. If it dumps from this level and breaks through, it is going to hard. So if we get this false breakout here, like I said, we're likely to retest the other extreme. It's something called a destination trade. So anytime you look just beyond a reference point hill, likely to retest the other extreme. So since we're looking just above Friday's high, If we get a failure there, we're likely to low. Like I said, we have a bit of a weak low here. Friday, these two spikes, and if that level drops, thing is gonna dump hard because really not a lot of support much further. Um, yeah, and I think I got this new limit order visualizer. So I can see this heat map that shows areas where a lot of orders right there. I think that's what's slowing my Ninja Trader down badly. Might need to. I just can't. It's a little bit hard to run once. I need to. Now it's final. The file is. You can balance. You got a profile like this. You just buy the load. But the fact that we're remaining in balance does bode well for. I don't know. 500. So it's anybody's game. Right now we're in balance. So this dome, but then all my chart, that's all. Yeah, I just really like market order. You get to a level and you happening. Getting I'll show you throughout the talk this indicator suite. Right in the open, lagging a little. I just really opposite. All guys, I'm up here. Um, Again, I just wanted to show you here. This is what this visualize. You can see it's a lot like book. You can see the larger the areas, a lot of liquidity, big sell order apps. So also, guys, we have the ISM manufacturing PMI coming out in 15 minutes. So make sure you watch your economic. But that's all I got for you guys this morning. Again, I will tomorrow standard time. That's when you can expect to see me. And again, I am on YouTube. If you want to see a full screen, feel free to join me there. That's all I got for you guys. So thanks so much again for me. I appreciate it. And
Block by.